I'm just messing with you. I do that sometimes. One of the wonderful things about this is when you're in a room like this and you're talking to people, you have no idea. I heard somebody make the comment, well, ooh, you need to be in touch. You got something in common. Is that I hate to see when people go places and they call themselves networking and they stick to one person all night, or they're sitting out there with a plate of food and this hand is full because it's got a fork or a drink in it, and that's not the way you do it. Is that you just, walk casually and have conversations with people. But in this setting, I think it'll benefit us more because as you all said your name and your favorite thing to do, you not only told who you were, but what you like to do, and you might find somebody else who also likes to do that with you. Now what this is a brainstorming session. I'm not here to tell you where to go get a job. I'm here to facilitate this environment that will give you some ideas, and we can come up with some ideas to help you move forward. Now, we also produced a manual, and I didn't bring it in here. It's called How to Create Your Own Job, and it retails for $29.99. But because you're here today and you're in this seminar, it's free. So all you have to do is email me, and I will email that to you.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
All right. Because you've heard it, each one teach one?
Yeah.
And this is the wonderful thing that you have to do. If you do nothing else in your life, the first thing you do when you wake up in the morning is give thanks.
Yeah.
For whatever it is. And the second thing you do is figure out what it is that you can give away today. And why is that important?
It's better to give than receive.
So as ye give, so shall ye receive. Press down, shaking together,
All running over.
and running over. So I said, what can I give away today besides the information that I'm going to give? I've got some CDs and some DVDs and the manual, so I'll just email them to you, if that's okay. Okay? So you can print them out, or you can just work with it right on your computer, okay? So, with these ideas that we have, poetry, cooking, ceramics, traveling, yada, 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 what I'd like for us to do is to break off into little groups, groups of 3. And we're going to brainstorm what it is that you do and how you can put that plan on paper. And I'll send you the business plan too. And see, this is going to cost some work. Most folk don't want to work. Yes, sir.
I know. We can still do it in a group, but everything happens for a reason. They say the Lord puts you in places. In my mind, I've been thinking a whole lot, like, about my pieces. Like, even just for the community, open up a little small store that it's like a Starbucks, but it's not. But you come in instead of get coffee, you come in and get a word of the day.
Oh, I like that.
Just
like an inspirational conversations cafe.
Just say you come in, you having a rough day. I will have different subjects on whatever you feel like you need to talk about. Or if not, if you don't want to go through the catalog of all the pieces, you can just tell me, ask me, give me something to, and I'll speak on it and I'll write about it.
Wonderful. And you know a great way to do that is you can book a room free at the any Chicago Public Library for an hour or 2 or however long you want. It doesn't cost you anything. As long as you have a library card, you get a library card, you just call and tell them you want to book a room because you want to do a facilitated seminar there. The only catch is you can't sell anything.
Okay.
Now what you do when you're out of that room, that's different. But as long as you're there, so that's a great idea. Okay. You can start your own little cafe, print up your flyers, and you can go to. I don't make anything. This is just where I get our cards from. Vistaprint.com.
Yeah.
You pay $2.50 for shipping and handling. You get 250 free cards. So you can make up you some cards, pass them out, and let people know where you're going to be. Start your mailing list. You see, we have a mailing list. Start that mailing list, and that's how you get people to come out, and it'll grow over time. So you don't have to be bothered with the overhead, trying to find a building. That'll come later. But right now, it's free. It's at the library. See that one idea we just got? Okay, so let's break off in the groups. You don't want to break off in the groups? You don't have to. But that's how we usually do it. So what do you want to do? You tell me.
You're the teacher.
I'm not the teacher. I'm here to learn.
I'm
just a facilitator.
How about before we break off into groups, everybody realize and brainstorm with themselves what they need to do, then elaborate with somebody else of their plans.
Okay. Well, like you just did, like you just told us your idea, only one person speak at a time, please. Only one person speak at a time, please, just so we can hear other people. Just like you just shared your idea, I think that's how we should all do it.
Okay.
Yeah. What do you think? What do you all think?
That's good.
Yeah.
All as a group.
Well, I just
We
put,
could just do it one big group. You don't wanna break off, this is fine.
when you, if you had to put the three of us together, the cook and the entertainment and the person that travel, that take them along on my travel trip.
Yeah, see, I love the breakout. I love the breakouts. Cause it just, for some reason or another, it just gels better that way. And once we come from the breakout, then we'll all get back together again and everybody can voice their opinion. So we'll take like 10 minutes and do a little group session. So you three can do your little, you three, right? Pull your chair around here. You two can stay where you at. And then you three right here.
Saying like a certain different touch to it where it's not the same as everybody else.
Let's give people different understand topics. You can't have one without the other. You can't hear me.
Where you talking about this, how you can grill.
You can't say you listen. You
I mean,
can't say you understand.
you talking about something different.
You can't understand without listening. You can't understand without
Have
listening.
you really been to a
You
place?
can't listen without hearing. Yeah, them the 4 words that I use.
Okay, can you say that again? Can you, I don't wanna get that on camera. Can you say that again?
I use 4 words. Hear, listen, understand, knowledge. Hear, listen, understand, knowledge. You can't have one without the other. You can't say you heard me, but you didn't listen. You can't listen and say you understand. How can you understand you didn't take knowledge? So you can't take knowledge if you don't understand. You can't understand if you didn't listen. You didn't listen if you say you didn't hear. So I use them 4 words daily and I just try to put it into people so they can really understand it and realize that these 4 words, even though they're small and valuable, but if you look at them in a different perspective of life,
So that's called that insurance company. And my friend had opened up his own business because he really wanted to pass the business to me.
Yeah.
After a certain amount of time.
Parents anticipate to school kids. I guess as they get older, I think. Almost like perfect. I learned that from my brother.
I would like to bring that knowledge to them. It's so much thing I love
if you start small, it always can build from there, and you can really see like what I need to do, what I'm bringing in, what I'm profiting from. Everything you just grow from it. Because if you thinking, all right, a lot of people think big, and they try to crawl up to that limit, and you finally get to that crawl where you can pull yourself up.
And the grant was to have ceramics classes for the students, for the children in the community, and for any adult. She said, fine. There was no problem,
Why aren't you doing it? Because they have the purpose, all for profit. I know a church down the street on Cicero from where I work, they have an after-school program. So why aren't you
even if it's a small grant,
a small
to
grant?
get, it's a kiln. Someone tried to give me a kiln with the lady that taught me, but the kiln is so big, I had nowhere to put it. Nowhere to store it. None of them put it like this. I did not foresee a price. You know what I'm saying?
She was on Give You One.
But they had to close up. There was another.
She was on Give You One, and you didn't take it.
I had nowhere to put it. I had nowhere to. I thought that I could. It's
About this big.
it's a little. It's about my size. And it's tall. And it's very. All I can do is just an electrician.
From break now, you all have done all your breakout session, right?
Right.
So we have a spokesperson from each group, right?
Right.
And you had a question, right?
Which, I have your card, and I'm trying to find out which one of these are your email address. Because there's so many here that you got quite a few. I don't understand.
Okay, well, most of them are websites or blogs. Now, anything that says a name at something else, like a name at Yahoo, or name at Gmail, or name at Live Mail, or at something. None of that says that. So you notice that. You're very observant, right?
Yes.
And guess why it's not there?
Why?
Because if the email address is not there, but the website is, that means you've got to go to the website and see something in order to get the email address. Because the email address is at the bottom of the website on the first page. Now that is a marketing tip that I learned from a marketing guru. Now remember this young man right here, your name is Seth, right?
Yes.
That marketing guru, his name is Seth Godin, SETHGODIN. And that's one of the many marketing tips that he will give you. So I strongly suggest that you go to Seth Godin or Google him, and you will see that. So doesn't it make sense not to put your email address on there if you have a website or a blog and you want people to see what you have to offer? Doesn't that make sense?
That makes sense.
Yeah, so that's why there's no email address on there. So that's one of the tricks of the trade you learned today. Now, we're going to get into a little spirituality before we go. But first of all, I want to talk to you about what you did in your breakout session. So who would like to be the spokesperson for each breakout group? So who'd like to go first? Don't everybody speak up at once. Who's that? Okay, what's your name, sir?
My name is Camaro Grisby.
Speak loud.
My name is Camaro Grisby.
Okay.
We had a group of 4. Our first job that we had to come up with was traveling, and we decided to start small with a small bus or small van, maybe trying to help people with a low price to get them from point A to point B. Then we can venture out from there. But the main point of the traveling agency is to start small with a small van or small bus, to realize that people can travel with not much money. So start small with that. Our second job we had was cooking. We decided one person can cook a meal, beautiful meal, and give out small tastes for small prices. Just tastes of the food so people can really taste what they're buying, instead of, oh, it's good, and realizing the food is not. We give you a taste of, you can buy a small taste of it. Third job, we had a person that write music, and we figured, like, write all your music up, but leave it copyrighted, where you can go to some producers and ask them, I know you working all day long, but just look at this. Just tell me what it means and how it sounds to you, and maybe what could I change and how could I do this. And our fourth job was poetry, and as I said before, like, start with a store or a little small area, small room that's rented out to me where I can give enlightenment on my pieces, and just a word for the day for everybody that's coming to the places or just needs something just to uplift them during their day.
Do you have a word for the day for us?
Peace. I always try to understand every subject, every situation, and always think before you make any decision.
Powerful. One small word, peace. How many of us have peace in our lives? At such a time of high unemployment, how many of us have peace? How many of us actually have peace?
Because it helps if you're trying to get peace.
I mean, it helps you when people talk about peace, but then you have to come to reality. It's no peace down here, and then God is very disappointed about the people down here on this earth, the way we treat each other. Look at all these sandstorms, these fires that can't put out, tsunamis and all this here kind of stuff.
I think we can find peace if we help our family.
Can you repeat that, please, one person at a time?